what's going on, TLC? Is your boy PT here coming at you with another word of the week. This week's story is redeeming the culture, redeeming the culture. So this past week was Lunar New Year, and it marks the new year on the lunar calendar that's celebrated by billions of people all over the world, right? And with the new year, there are a lot of traditions that comes forth from it. Things you're not allowed to do, like for example, for the first of the year, or things you shouldn't wear, or food you should be eating, all in order to ward off evil or to bring in luck for the family, right? So each culture celebrates it in a different way, but it's done with the hope of good things for the coming year, of actually trying to bring in good things for the coming year. And so I just wanted to kind of share a quick analysis of it and offer some insights for future celebrations that we may have. So analysis, real quickly. I see a lot of these traditions, whether you realize it or not, especially in the New Year, is built off of pagan ideas and philosophies, right? So this weekend, it brought to my mind a question of, what should Christians do when we are part of a culture that celebrates or participates in something that may be rooted elsewhere outside of the Christian faith? Things like birthdays, Halloweens, or in this example, Lunar New Year, right? So here's my 2 cents. Whenever I'm faced with a certain controversial thing to either participate in or not, my go-to analysis question is always, should I reject it? Should I receive it? Or should I redeem it? Okay? Should I reject it? Should I receive it? Or should I redeem it? There are things, like for example, rejection. There are things, no matter how much you try to Christianize, you should reject. A random example would be something like porn, right? Even if you gave it Christian porn as a title, it's such thing that you won't be able to do. You have to reject it because there's no way in celebrating or participating in that we can go about doing it without dishonoring and sinning against God. So those are things that we would reject. If there's no way that you can participate in it without sinning against God, you gotta reject it, right? But there are things that you can receive that comes from the culture. There are things that the culture celebrates that are good, that you should receive, right? That won't cause you to sin if you do receive them. For example, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Valentine's Day, right? Honoring your mom, your dad, or your loved ones is a good thing. I don't think you can do it without, I'm pretty sure you can do it without sinning against God. So receive it, celebrate it, participate in it, be a part of it, right? But then there are things in terms of redeeming that you need to think about. There are things that culture celebrates or participate in that comes from traditions that are pagan. A good example of these would be birthdays, again, Halloween, in this case, Lunar New Year. In cases like these, we can seek to redeem it, just like how the early missionaries redeemed December 25th. If you guys did not know, it was the Roman festival of Saturnalia, and they redeemed it in a way where they celebrated that festival as the birth of our Lord Jesus Christ, right? We have the ability to redeem certain festivals and do it in such a way where we're not sinning or dishonoring God. That means celebrate festivals in a way that doesn't give honor to the pagan traditions, but rather elevate Jesus as the center of that celebration. So, for example, the celebration of Lunar New Year, right? It's this celebration where at the heart of it, it's the longing to bring in a year for your family, a year that will bring health, that will bring wealth, that will bring completeness and peace for you and your family. It's this longing for completion, right, for your family. And that longing, if you realize it or not, that longing is this deep spiritual longing in all people for God, because that longing is this innate back of our mind reality that we were made for something bigger and something more. So in redeeming these celebrations and festivals and actually elevating Jesus within these festivals, right, it's probably the only true way to bring people a sense of full completeness that they're really looking for, right? So that's my 2 cents. So in the future, if you guys are ever thinking about certain things like this and you have questions, just think about the question. Should I reject it? Should I receive it? Or should I redeem it? All right, guys. You guys have a great one. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I will see you next week for the next story. Peace out.